Hey folks, Jonathan here, early morning Sunday. We are working on, or I am working on the shifter for the push button on this car. And I tried to do a little research online last night about this and realized that there's just no info on it, or no info I could find anyway. So I didn't know how this worked. I wasn't even sure whether this was vacuum, electric, or cable, or what when I started. But we've got it figured out. Our neutral was stuck in, and the way this works, let me get my flashlight here. Well, one thing about it, if you got the battery hooked up, you're gonna blow the horn every 5 seconds while you're working on this thing. Anyway, so what we've got, that was accident. What we've got is a darned a box in here that basically is just, it operates a cable, springs, levers, nothing, nothing complicated really. And we've got these plastic pieces right here that go into the little forks, and I think they're actually supposed to stay in there. I did read something about people having to close up, I guess take a pair of pliers and close them up a little bit so they're a little tighter. But anyway, basically what this thing was supposed to do that it wasn't doing is when you shift it into the park with this lever right here, it's automatically supposed to put it into neutral. And that was working, and it's in neutral right now. I don't know if we push it. Yeah, see, that gets neutral off now. So it's stayed in the neutral, but now when we do it, it should take it back out of drive, which that's the drive button, and go back to neutral. Oh, which it does, and shoots it out. So we'll have to get these to stay in a little better, and then try to get this dash back together. So it's not a complicated setup, and hopefully the cable's good from here down to the transmission. And I have sprayed a lot of PB Blaster in there because you can see there's some rust and everything was sticking. So I think that's most of our problem. We'll try to get these buttons lined back up and back in like they need to be, and hopefully this will work, and we'll be able to drive this up the driveway today before the day's up anyway. And I'm gonna let Noah drive it and pressure wash it. Brakes for this thing is cheap, so we can go ahead and just order the entire brake system. You can even get the drums cheap. So I think the 4 drums are $100, $120, something like that. So it's worth, putting back together. And we joke about it being ugly, but we've got respect for all these old cars. The designers, the builders, they took pride in their work back then, and which is something that you don't see nowadays. So although we joke about them and about them being ugly and stuff like that, I even asked Noah, would you drive this thing to school? And he said, heck yeah, he'd drive it in a minute and wouldn't think nothing about it. The ugliness is just a joke. So, hopefully nobody takes that too seriously. And because we're probably going to keep joking about it, of course, but we're going to still make this thing move and drive. Maybe we'll have the brakes by next weekend, and I can get Noah to do the brake system on it, and just let him do most of the work on this car. And not necessarily because it's ugly, but it sort of favors him a little bit. But anyway, let me get back to work on this, and we'll try to have this finished up, and maybe when Noah gets here he can work on the fuel system. We'll get the carburetor off and get it cleaned. And I think the big question now is the transmission good? We don't know why they parked this thing. It's one of them deals, and like I said before, these things don't get parked a lot of times for major reasons. When it's a major reason, they usually end up getting crushed. It's usually something simple, brake system, or little stuff like that gives a problem, and they just park them, and they sort of get forgotten, start deteriorating, and you end up with a car that's just looks like a piece of crap. And if the wrong man gets a hold of it, it's going straight to the crusher. And I'm glad to be able to get a hold of them. And like they say on the pickers and stuff, I'm the owner, but I'm sort of the curator of this. You you get it, you do what you can to make it desirable to somebody. It wasn't desirable not running with the tires flat. Running, driving, moving, there'll be somebody interested in it, and hopefully it'll be a young person. And you know, they'll want it, they'll want to fix it, you know, want to drive it and continue to keep it on the road, because you know, they just don't build, you know, everybody says, oh, they don't build stuff like this anymore. Well, you're right, they absolutely do not build stuff like this anymore. Okay, we got her fixed. She's in drive, we're riding along, change all the gears, and then when you go to park, automatically puts neutral on. Take it off, let it dry, neutral comes off. Same way for reverse, first, second, they all work. Alright, so next is going to be, see if it'll go. Okay, Tyler was talking about the gears on these things, and the best I can tell is that looks like a P as in Paul and a T as in Tom, and then the 225. So maybe you can tell me what year this is. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Oop, there goes my focus. Okay, so now the plan is we've got our cheater tank hooked up to our fuel pump, and that way it's not sucking out of the tank. And we're going to crank it over a little bit and see if we can get it to get all the fuel out of the fuel pump that ain't any good into the bottle if it cranks over, and or if it the fuel pump pumps. Okay, we did get the fuel pump to work, and we got all the nasty gas out of it. It smells really good. Noah, can you taste that and tell me what octane it is? Mm-mm. So that's the real Gatorade right there. Anyway, so now we're going to get the carburetor back on, see if we can get this thing to fire up. Running a little rough, but it's idling. Oh, there's our battery warranty. Somebody had said something about that. Push your drive button and be ready to...
I gotta flip this up, right?
Yeah, flip that up. Alright, now push your drive. Push hard. Give it a little gas. Alright. Alright, go back to park. Push it down. Alright, let's check fluid. Let it idle as low as it will idle. Alright, take it off. Push it harder. There you go. Oh! Would you look at that? Put it back in park. Try R for race. Is that R? R? Yeah. There you go. All right, so you can go back to drive. There's drive. All right, no, don't hit nothing. Emergency brake might work. Emergency brake. Emergency brake, Noah.
It don't work.
Put it in park. Oh, it does? You didn't push it hard enough. Okay. Alright, emergency brake's working. Calm down. He ain't gonna wait for me. I guess you want me to start the back.
Yeah.
Your lights on. This ain't smart, but that's okay. Mercy brake. There's all kinds of stuff for him to hit around here. That'll work now. Roll your window up so you can pressure wash it. Okay, folks, I would have felt a whole lot better doing that little drive myself, but you know, he done the work on it, so he deserved it. So he's gonna get her pressure washed now. Trying to make it look a little bit better. You see all that? That's paint off my hood. No, get that paint back on my hood. Make sure it's right when you're done. I want it on. If you overlap it, it's not going to fit. Let me see if my wife's got some glue. I'll be right back. Here's the paint off of it. I don't know what kind of paint they use. They must not have much surface prep or something. I think they probably got it a little bit too smooth. It looks too good.
Yeah.
They probably wet sanded it with 3000 before they painted it. That might have been the problem.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. So we got a partially black, partially green. I think it's green.
The thing about pressure wash right there is turn the whole car in.
Anyway, it don't matter. It looks like maybe it got a cut and they sewed it up, and that's the scar from it. You reckon that's right?
Yeah.
Paint coming off everywhere, ain't it? My compressor making some funny noises. Alright. What's next, Noah? Alright, after a bunch of aggravation, we got the back seat out. Alright, Noah. It's hooked on the other side. See what we got in there. Ooh, 2 hubcaps.
Ready to go?
Ford.
Oh.
No wonder this thing was leaking on the back. Oh, just kidding. Don't know. Trim part, but what is it for? I don't think them go on here.
What's that?
Left hand number 1. Old wrench. specialty wrench or something. Somebody will know these for sure. Old Plymouth or something. The other two hooks they have.
Looks like new carpet, John. Yeah, it is. New carpet.
New carpet?
Yeah.
Huh, that might be just a, yeah, I don't know. So, all right, we need to get a light and look back there and see if you can see a trunk pop.
Got it.
Hey, look. It's a Noah and some rust. And a spare wheel. I wonder if that's 13 or 14. I bet it's 14. Looks 14. Ooh, look what we got here. That's the emblems that go across the back right here for the trunk lid. Got a big snake. Hey, look, we got a screwdriver. Not too bad it's mine.
Look at that filter wrench.
Oh. There's a little bumper jack. Plug wire. Headlight. Them headlights ain't gonna fit now. Not scary. You don't see the bottom for the jack? Oh, I seen it. It's down here. Fix it flat. Well, there's not much, but
I don't know why they had that tied right there.
don't know. There's a little rust back here, but it ain't terrible. Ain't nothing we can't handle.
Yeah, look, that's carpet.
Yeah. Loop, that's called a loop pile, I think. It's where it's looped, it's not just shagged out. That's probably for a vehicle. You might have got it for this. Alright, well, let's leave the trunk open. I guess we need to clean everything out of it. The seat is rusted off. It's not mounted anymore.
Is it rusted off or just unbolted?
No, it's rusted. So what we'll do is when we do the floors, I have to make new mounts for the seat. It may not be right, but they'll be safer than that. We'll take a break and then we'll get this cleaned up. Alright folks, I think that's it for this one for the weekend. I think next weekend we'll be doing the brakes, or I'll get Noah to be jumping on the brakes and we'll get a gas tank hooked up and see if we can't maybe see how it does on the road or something. I don't know. But appreciate everybody watching, and until next time, bye.